Welcome to this week's episode of Table Nights, Tabletop Pokemon. I am Tyler Malter, your host and league leader. With me, as always, I have...
John Reed.
What are you playing, John?
I am playing the lawful good Pokemon researcher, Elona Musk. I have 3 Pokemon. Sting, the Nidoran male. Prower, the newly acquired Alolan Vulpix.
Woo!
And Zoolander the Zubat.
Oh, well, I, Shawn Murphy,
Oh.
am playing the enigmatic Cliff Bridges.
No.
I'm a Pokemon Ranger from Pewter, and I am rocking a Cubone named Marrow, a Scyther named Krueger, and the ever-lovable Dahmer the Jigglypuff.
Well, I'm Zachary Birkes, and I play as Shasta Clair, a Pokemon trainer. I have a Poliwag named Vinnie, a Venomoth named The Thing, and a Clefairy named Pink Stuff.
That's pretty good.
Perfect. All right. To recap from our last week's episode, the team was walking to back to Cerulean City after visiting the collective's headquarters, and they saw a lightning bolt shoot out of the power plant just east of town, and then all of the lights in Cerulean City went out. You guys decided to go to the Pokemon Center. You met with Mason Swiftfoot, who said, who told you where the the power plant was, and said that his Pokemon were keeping the Pokemon Center lit, but it wouldn't be able to do that for much longer, and asked if you guys would go to the power plant and help the workers there with whatever issues they're having. So that is when you guys left Cerulean City and you went towards the power plant, where you ran into an Arcanine that was already owned by another trainer that ran off with Elona's egg.
Yeah. Scummy.
The Arcanine helped the egg hatch, and out came an Alolan Vulpix that immediately looked at Cliff and called it mommy.
Not canon.
So,
Absolutely can.
the Alolan Vulpix, whose mom is Cliff and whose dad is the Arcanine, was caught by Elona and is now one of her 3 Pokemon. And that is when another lightning bolt struck the power plant, and Arcanine booked it towards the power plant, with you guys presumably following behind.
Absolutely.
And that's where we're going to start this week.
And we're hoofing it.
Yep.
All right, so you guys are booking it towards the power plant.
Just, yes.
Full speed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So you're running towards the power plant, and you notice as the sun is continuing to set, and it's all at this point like the mountains that surround this power plant and surround the forest at the basin of the mountains. The sun is just barely peeking overhead of the mountains, and it's casting a shadow over the entire forest. So you guys are almost to like true sundown. The power plant is in the distance, and you guys notice that there is light coming from the power plant, so you can see it just ahead of you. And you see the Arcanine rushing towards it still. And you notice that there's also transformers outside of the power plant that look like they're overflowing with energy. And they're actually like sparking out. And there's arcs of lightning or electricity coming off of these transformers and like whipping at the gates surrounding them. The chain link fences around them. And it looks like... there's just an overflow of electricity from this power plant.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Well, that's the opposite of what the town would say.
Absolutely. So you guys are making your way towards the power plant. And you guys get there. The Arcanine runs around one side of the building. Do you choose to follow it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As well.
It's leading the way pretty well so far.
It seems to know. It's responsible.
So it's running to the front of the power plant, which is very large, like entryway with a large arch that has Kanto region power plant, and it looks like a gate for vehicles to drive through with just like the single arm bar. But no one's manning the station at the entryway to the facility. And being on foot, you guys could easily just slide right under that bar and get...
no way.
Yeah, so...
That would not be acceptable.
Figured. There is a telecom box that you can go and press and speak to somebody.
Are you gonna press the shit out of that button?
You're gonna jump over?
No, I'm gonna press the button.
Why are you doing that?
Because the gate is in the way.
I can jump. I can go through the gate.
Oh, but you have permission.
I wonder if the code is 11648239.
Oh man!
Punch that in first.
So
it's a single button, but I'm gonna punch it out.
You're wondering if the code for the power plant is the trainer's ID number found on the Arcanine's collar,
or
I'm just
the Arcanine's name.
I'm just trying to put
or the Arcanine's
2 and 2
name.
together.
Okay.
I'm just gonna push the button.
Yeah, it's a single button.
I'm gonna say, Dad.
So it does the like.
He's in here.
And then there's complete silence.
So the power plant has power.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't draw that conclusion from pushing the button.
So
I'm willing to go in.
Okay.
There could be hurt Pokemon in there.
Yeah, and the Arcanine army crawls under the thing and goes right up to the front door.
That means we should just be able to walk underneath the bar.
I'm an army crawl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good job, Cliff. So
CQC.
You guys enter into the large courtyard, and it looks like it's there's a loading bay off to the side with large shuttered doors that look like garage doors and everything. You don't really know what they would be used for, but it's like a loading and unloading zone. And then directly in front of you is a glassed off room, or a roof, like it comes out like a porch almost. And then there's 8 doors on the side of conveniently. There's 8 doors on the side of the building, and they're all underneath like an awning that would keep you like out of the cold or snow, rain. Jesus, I can't talk. I'm dying. So that is that's what looks like the front of the facility.
What did the Arcanine do?
The Arcanine runs up and just stands in front of these doors looking, but it doesn't really know.
Doesn't know
where to go or what to do.
I'm gonna start an eeny meeny miny mo.
And
it's gonna
now let me describe the doors.
Oh.
So there's 8 doors, and I have them
Whoa.
drawn out here on the playmat in front of you. Yep. You can move the little zombie guys; they're not real.
That's right.
Yeah. So we have these 8 doors here in front of the facility. Each one of them has a handy dandy lever drawn, and all of the levers are down. Across the top are lights that are all not showing any light or anything. They're all just like turned off lights.
It's a lever puzzle. Where have I seen this before?
Where have you seen this before?
The bottom of a particular stage in a game that I won't mention.
Destiny?
You're talking about Destiny 2?
What?
The Leviathan raid in Destiny 2?
Maybe.
Okay, well, let's see if it works the same.
Okay.
Well, it's already 8 switches,
so if I push up the top, the first one, if I push up on the first one, does it stay up or does it fall back down?
It stays up.
You're going up over there and hitting it?
I just want to go over there and hit it. Yeah, these are all down.
I was gonna hit it.
We'll hit number 2 and see if it stays
No
up.
way. I'm gonna roll for it.
So 1 stayed up?
Yeah.
Must be the right one, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna go over to 5. My eeny meeny miny mo.
Sure.
And I'm gonna crank up on 5.
Okay.
Does anything happen when we...
You hear a loud mechanical sound, almost like 2 large things are rubbing together, and the light above 1 turns on, and then the light above 5 turns on, and then 5 turns back off.
I'm gonna crank it down.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing happens.
Alright, let's pull up on number 2. Shasta, you're up. Pull up on number 2. Hope you don't get shocked.
Well, I was thinking about going at number 3.
I
Being
think-
between you two.
Pull up number 3 then.
Here we go. Number 3. Walk over.
Well, I'm gonna put mine
Crap.
back up.
Okay, so 5 is back up.
Yes.
Okay, and the light turns on and then turns back off.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up on lever 3.
Okay, and 3, the light turns on and then turns back off.
Okay.
Mine stayed on, so maybe it's number 2.
Okay, I'm gonna turn mine off. You should turn yours back on.
Wait. Mine's
You
already...
turn it off and then on.
Okay. I'll turn mine off and turn it back on.
Okay.
Number 3.
3, turning it off and then back on.
Yes.
Okay, you turn it off, and when you turn it back on, the light above 3 lights up and then dissipates again.
I'm going to pull up on number 2.
Okay, and number 2's lever is pulled up, and the light above it turns on and then turns itself back off.
So all of them are... So everything is off except for 1 and 2 that I just attempted.
It turns itself on
Yeah.
and then turns
The
itself
lever is in the up position.
Yes. So I'm going to put it back down in the off position.
Let's just try another one.
Try 8.
7.
off. Okay, so you...
Everything's off except 1.
Okay, and you lift
Alright.
7,
Yes.
and the light turns on, and then it turns itself back on.
Okay,
Why
turn
is
off
1 the only one?
Turn off 1.
Turn off 1.
And I'm gonna turn off 7, and I'm gonna turn it back on.
Okay, so then the light above 7 stays on, and the light above 7 is off.
Okay, so turn 1 back on. That's the
And
only
you
one.
hear a loud, like, noise.
So turn 1 back on.
Okay.
And it stays on, right?
Yeah.
light?
mm,
Okay.
Yeah. And both lights are on.
On 7?
Yeah,
and
7
1?
and 1, yeah.
No way. But they didn't stay on when we did the opposite direction.
Does that matter?
It always matters.
Roll for meta?
It always matters. I'm gonna roll something.
Juggling?
I'm gonna roll my guess again. 8.
Okay. So you turn 8 on,
Yes.
and 7 and 1 are still on.
Yes.
Okay. The light above 8 turns on and then turns itself back off.
But 1 and 7 are still on.
Shasta
1
hit
and
number
7.
4.
So I'm gonna turn 8 off.
Okay.
I'll go over at number 4. I'm curious though. With 1 and 7, since the lights are on, are those doors unlocked now?
I'm gonna try the door.
I'd like to try opening.
Damn it.
You guys never tried the doors.
We immediately just tried to solve
Yeah.
a puzzle that may or may not
I
exist.
feel like I should
So
get
I'm
my
gonna
gym
go
badge
over
back.
to door 7 and just try to open the door.
And as you reach out for door 7, you hear in the distance, "Help! Help!"
Oh god.
Behind us or in front of us?
behind you. Coming back from the forest is the sound of what it sounds like a young guy or girl screaming for help.
It's Jay Balter.
Is it Gibraltar?
Maybe.
You think J. Ball Jr., son of Jason Ball Sr., CEO of Ball Corp, sounds like a small child?
Gibraltar. I'm just gonna
At this
turn
point,
around and
anything
run,
is possible.
I would still like to open the door.
running in the direction.
Okay,
Because our Pokemon's lives at stake. Rather
So-
than one person.
so you open the door, and in front of you it appears to be like an elevator.
Okay.
It's just like a small
Just
room.
We split in the party
Yeah,
this soon.
And Cliff,
Ideology's
you are
fun.
running
absolutely.
to the
Just-
crowd.
Without any hesitation,
I'm
just
opening
zip
door
around
1.
and run.
Okay, and
Triple
door 1
split.
opens, and it's a similar. It's just an empty room.
I'll look at Shasta in the eyes and disappear down the shaft.
So you're going into door 1,
Yes.
And I'm gonna go
and
to 7.
Shasta's going into 7,
Yep.
and Cliff is running into the forest.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
So what am I seeing in this like elevator shaft? Like what
So
kind of
you
buttons and
enter.
stuff?
You enter. The door is like closes on its own behind you, and you're standing in the room, and you feel the room start to kind of shake a little bit, and then it feels like it's moving.
All right.
Looks
And
like Shasta's having a lot of fun in that room.
so you hear, and then you get down to what appears to be the end of whatever ride you were on, which only takes a few seconds, like 10, 15 seconds total. And then you open the back of the room, and it's another doorway, and you walk out, and you're now in a large open area of the power plant.
Wow.
Elona, you are you also enter into one of these.
Does mine do the violent shake and,
It does.
drop?
It feels like it's undocking itself
Okay.
and then transporting you somewhere.
Alright.
So your same thing happens. You close the door behind you. It moves, and it releases you, and you are about 60 feet up from where Shasta is when you step out of your room, and you're in a different section of the power plant, but you can look down at the floor and see Shasta stepping out of hers.
Hey girl, what up?
Dang, you are
go back to
high
Cliff.
up.
So Cliff, you run into the forest.
Absolutely. After the sounds.
Sure. So you're running for a few seconds. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Just a base d20 roll.
9.
9, perfect. You
what that means.
you start hearing the noises again. It's someone yelling, "Help, help!" But it almost feels like it's pointless. Like they've given up. They're like, "Help, please, just help."
Oh, yeah. Even
And
more determined.
You get to a small clearing just past some bushes, and you see what looks like a 10-year-old boy, and with him is a Pichu that looks like it's been knocked out and is laying unconscious next to him, and a Bulbasaur fighting with 4 Ivysaur.
Oh,
And
man.
the Ivysaurs are just whipping one after another with Vine Whip.
Are you
On the
serious?
Bulbasaur?
And the Bulbasaur is trying to block as many of them as it can. So it throws like one of its vines up and blocks one, only to get smacked in the face by another. And it's trying its hardest to combat these 4 Ivysaur that are all attacking.
I swear to God.
I'm shaking my Pokemon.
If you catch that thing.
Cliff would kill it. Cliff needs XP.
I do need XP. That's a good point. Alright, so I'm getting out there.
Wow.
Perfect.
Pokemon are going out.
Send your Pokemon out. Awesome. So you send out both Marrow the Marowak and
The Jigglypuff's already out.
Dahmer.
And-
Dahmer the
It is
Jigglypuff is out.
indignant as fuck.
And Krueger the Scyther joined.
That's right.
Perfect. All right, let's go back to Shasta. Shasta, you are in this large facility.
Suddenly
and
compelled to run out of the building.
I don't know about
Cliff can't do it by himself. Go.
something you take note of is it looks like there's a lot of heavy machinery, and it looks like you can't really recognize anything in there as knowing what it does exactly, but you do know that it looks like there's a lot of moving parts that aren't moving at all. It looks very still and calm, and you also notice that there are no people walking around. So what would you like to do?
Strange.
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to just look around and see if I can find anything, I suppose.
Sure.
Perhaps get closer to that machine and want to maybe inspect it a little bit.
Yeah,
See
so
if it's broken. Or
So
not.
you notice that there's a few machines, off to the side. It looks like you're in almost a closed off area, and the particular area you're in looks almost like a Pokemon Center. It has large machines where you can place different Pokeballs on them. You don't really know what the machine does with the balls, but it has those same kind of half circle spots where you can set Pokeballs. But it looks like it's a much larger scale version of it, and it could hold 60, maybe 80 Pokeballs on it. It's a huge machine, and you notice that there's 3 of them around you. But there's not really. There's the elevator thing that you rode in on, and then next to it is a doorway that leads out of the area, but it's all open top. There's nothing above you. But behind the machines is just walls. So you're kind of in this little rectangular room without a ceiling, and that has these large machines.
Are there any kind of like buttons and stuff on the machines?
Yeah. It looks very complex. Each machine has multiple levers and buttons. It has a screen that you would theoretically would deliver information to you about whatever it is.
So I'd like to come back to this because I'm not sure exactly what it is, but if they're not operating, it kind of seems like it's a waste of my time there.
Sure.
But for the sake of just maybe
Put a
being more
Pokeball
spontaneous, I'm gonna put an empty Pokeball on one of the spots.
Empty.
You're gonna put an empty one.
I'm gonna put an empty one.
Okay, sure. So you set the Pokeball down and you start hearing like the whirring of the machine kicking itself on, gears turning about inside of it. It makes really large, obnoxious, like cranking noises. And you go over to the screen and it says in large letters, no Pokemon detected. But then at the bottom, it says like Ball Court mass healing machine.
Oh wow!
So it looks like that's kind of the logo of the machine itself.
It definitely heals.
Yeah. All my Pokemon are all healed up, so there's no need to put.
Make them fight each other.
So I'm gonna take the empty Pokeball off, and just for the sake of, I don't know, I'd like to see like what more information I get. So I'm gonna put Vinny's Pokeball on it and just look at the screen and see what
Sure.
pops up on it.
Talk a little bit closer to the mic. Sure. So you put Vinny on the machine, and the machine whirs, continues whirring. It didn't really have time to cool off. And you look at the machine, and it just says Venomoth, and it has
Vinny.
No, it says Venomoth.
It doesn't know its name.
Yeah. Oh no, Vinny.
Yeah,
the
Vinny the
Poliwag.
Poliwag.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
That confuses the element.
You're all good.
Yes, Vinny the Poliwag, not the Thing,
Yeah.
the Venomoth.
Formerly
So-
There's mud.
Yeah, Vinny the Poliwag is on there. So it just says Poliwag.
Mm-hmm.
It says estimated age 2 years,
Okay.
and then it says current health, and it just says 100%.
All right. Well, I'll take Vinny's Pokeball off, and let's go check out that doorway.
Sure. So you go to the door next to the elevator. You open it up, and it looks like there's just a long corridor, just a huge hallway, and you can see the ends of it on both sides. And that's where we're going to stop with you, move on to Elona.
What can I see up here on my floor? Am I like on a walkway above the main
Yes.
power plant floor? Okay, so are there doors along this walkway, like offices that people would be working in?
Yes.
Okay.
So it appears that if this power plant were to have a corporate portion of it that has large filing cabinets and desks and computers that people work at on a daily basis, and they aren't out on the floor dealing directly with the day-to-day like keeping power.
Right.
You're in that section. So the area that you're in, it opens up with the floor in the middle, but it looks like it's just large open office spaces with cubicles in them. And there's just 5 or 6 doorways into the large open office spaces. And then at the front of forward on the walkway, you notice that there's just one very large office with a man standing at the desk with just piles of paper everywhere. And he's sifting through them and shuffling them up and trying to find something or look at something or something like that.
Well, I want to...
But everywhere else, completely empty.
Yeah, do the other places look undisturbed for the most part?
Yeah, it looks like 5 o'clock came and everyone
People
left.
just left? Okay.
But this guy stayed or is in the office of someone.
Okay, well, I noticed Shasta's downstairs playing with balls and machines. I'm going to beeline for the door, and I want to bang on the door. Is it open or is it closed?
It's closed.
It's closed. I want to bang on the door at the guy and just yell, "Hey!"
So he looks up
What
at
up?
you, very shocked, like he didn't hear you coming or anything like that, and immediately walks over to the blinds and pulls both the blinds, and blinds drop, and you can't see into his office anymore.
Can't have that. Sting, go.
It's a bad dad.
You send your Nidoran?
Yeah, I want him to break down the door.
Breaking and entering.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead.
Fury attack the door, bro.
Okay.
13. Yeah,
Yeah.
14.
That hits.
Okay.
So roll damage for me.
Oh, snap. Alright, well, let's see.
If you knock its health down enough, you might be able to catch it.
How about 7d4?
Oh my
Can I put
God.
down 7d4? At least 7 damage.
Yeah, no. You you knock the door off the hinges.
Okay.
Wow.
It doesn't like shatter open or anything. It just
And
lays
Sting
down.
comes in and goes, Sting!
yeah, and Sting jumps on the door facing the guy like he's ready to do it again.
Yeah. And I say, that wasn't very nice.
So the guy looks up at you and is like, "Are you talking about the Nidoran that just broke my door down?"
No, that was cool. That was badass, bro. Shutting the blinds on me. Do you realize your power plant's, like, messing up the city?
Wait, what?
Yeah, all power's gone, and there's wires and vines of electricity shooting and blowing things up.
No, that can't be.
It's happening.
This isn't good. I need to go. And he runs towards the door, towards you,
Uh-huh.
like he's going to just brush past you.
Well, I don't... Boom! Let him.
Whoa,
Red
sure.
Rover.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going?
And he limbos right past.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The Limbo Master.
The Limbo Champion.
He says, "Get out of my way. This is bigger than any of us.
Are you going to help get the power back on?
I need to go immediately and fix this."
Okay.
And he runs down. So you were walking straight towards his office
Yeah.
at the end of like a catwalk up in the rafters. And he walks the, like left of that or right of that, and just walks down another set of catwalk and into a closed off, like full wooden door and into what appears to be another hallway.
Okay, I want to look at the papers he was sorting through.
Perfect. We'll pick back up with that.
Okay.
Cliff.
All right.
So you are with a young man who has a knocked out Pichu next to him
Yeah, not for long.
and a Bulbasaur fighting against 4 Ivysaur.
The trick here is I don't know who's at fault.
It's very valid. So the kid is crying.
Oh yeah, he's at fault.
It's a little boy. He has a backwards hat on, yellow shirt, shorts,
Wait a minute.
but he looks way too young to be... Why'd you say wait a minute?
No, you're fine.
Okay. He looks way too young to be out this far from Cerulean City
Yeah.
and almost at night. So you're pretty concerned with someone's parenting,
Right.
as Cliff. Yeah, like
Well, yeah. I mean,
you care about parents.
I assume he doesn't have them.
Yeah, and I would guess, and this isn't me. I'm not Cliff.
Yeah, you're.
But I would guess that Cliff looks at the kid and says something along the lines of, "I could be a better son to your parents than you are."
I would say you too because I assume Dad's down.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna run over to him. And I'm gonna try to be like All Might. Like I'm gonna be like really like, don't worry, kid, I've got this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna fuck every word up. So like everything I'm saying, just imagine they're totally said in the wrong
Sure,
order.
gotcha.
So I'm gonna be like,
You're really
hey,
nervous. And you're-
well, I'm trying to be courageous, but I'm misremembering how people do it.
sure.
So I'm
Makes
like,
sense.
hey kid, we're gonna kick your ass. And then I'm gonna spray. I'm just gonna like a mason the Pichu, but I'm gonna revive it.
Okay.
Reviving
Perfect.
that Pichu. So,
So-
use a revive.
Yep. Use it up.
Shove it down his throat. I don't know how revives work. You just rub it on.
I think it's like I like to think of it as like an asthma inhaler.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
Isn't it like a little
It's all
starburst
solid.
though?
Isn't it
Yeah.
revive like a
it's a candy.
So you just shove it into the. Yeah. Okay.
No,
Sounds-
I think of it as a.
It's got to go on one end, right?
So Pichu is up, but my Pokemon are out.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
it's time for the rumble in the jungle.
And the Pichu immediately runs up to the kid and just is like holding onto his legs, like scared
Okay.
for his life.
Good. Sense motive.
Oh, please.
The Bulbasaur is continuing to smack away, and it's getting hit every few times. But it looks like the Ivysaur are actually playing with it. Not like playful, but like we are so much better than you
Toying
that
with
yeah, we don't
Cat
even
and mouse.
yeah, we don't even need to try to attack you. We can just have fun with it. So
Not for long.
go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Oh yeah. That's a 5.
Yeah, we don't have initiative, so oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm rolling really well.
It's fine. I gotta stick a dynamite
Okay.
in case it doesn't go along.
The Bulbasaur runs at one of the Ivysaur,
Yes.
the one on the far right, and runs in to tackle, and it hits. So the Bulbasaur charges at that Ivysaur that that's directly in front of it now, and it knocks the Ivysaur on its side, and it deals
Excellent.
6 points of damage to the
good.
Ivysaur. So the Ivysaur is knocked over, and it turns, and immediately it starts looking at the next Ivysaur next to it, like, you're next, buddy.
Hell yeah, it is.
And the Ivysaur rears up its vines, and that's bad roll, and smacks it across the face, both vines in like an X shape, like across a mouth, and it's going to deal 5 points of damage to the Bulbasaur.
Oh man.
And the Bulbasaur just kind of knocks its face sideways, and it looks back up like, okay, I see how it is.
Okay.
Now the Bulbasaur looks pretty rough at this point.
Wow.
It doesn't look like it could take another one of those kind of hits.
Okay.
So it will be your go.
Just like the whole mess.
Yeah, your 3.
Okay.
And then it'll be
Okay.
another
Okay.
Ivysaur.
Okay. So I'm gonna run the my that's not right. Yeah, I'm gonna run Krueger. No. I'll run the my Marrow up. So he's gonna run up to the Ivysaur. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's good. He'll run up to the Ivysaur.
The
And
Ivysaur that attacked Bulbasaur
That's
with
right.
the Vine Whip?
yes,
Okay.
that's right. And he's going to disable.
Okay.
So he's gonna just kind of like he's real concentrated on helping this Bulbasaur out, be a brother from another mother. So
Sure.
and he just disables that Ivysaur.
Yeah. So that Ivysaur is unable to move during its next turn.
Heck yeah, it is.
And it gets disad on save throws?
Disadd on no, it's just unable to move for 2 turns.
2 turns. Okay.
So
Perfect.
I'm gonna run my Krueger,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna try to get up to do some action here. So not quite.
So Kruger's just far back enough that it can't reach with any physical attacks.
That's brutal.
Does it have anything ranged?
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and leer at the next guy.
Okay, and what does Lear do again?
Leer is gonna add a disadvantage to attack and save throws for 3 turns.
Okay, sweet.
So we're just hitting down the line.
Yep.
So there's that, and then the Puffster is going to head out, and he's moving in a diagonal pattern. They've kind of like forked out, crisscrossing each other.
Sure.
This is the flying V.
That's right. Well,
Right?
and it's good too because this is a running charge pound. So
Oh,
Jigglypuff's doing a pound, but has all the weight of the whole movement, like a sprint behind it.
Sure.
And as it's attacking, it's like rolling its puff, like puff.
Oh, nice.
It just goes right in for it.
So go ahead and give me a
Right in the taint.
check. Oh,
Oh
okay.
Lord.
It's a
I don't know how I
taint
can
shot.
do that of a.
Oh no!
What it hit?
That's a 2.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
What you need to do with the flying V is have a Pokeball passed around them as they're coming at whatever it is you're trying to catch,
Knuckle puck.
and then like they break off, and one of them hits them with it and catches the Pokemon. Yeah, natural 20 every
Try
time.
to catch the Bulbasaur right now.
Okay.
I mean, there are 4 Ivysaur.
So the third Ivysaur, the one that got leered at,
Yes.
is going to move in towards the Krueger,
Okay.
the Scyther.
No.
No,
Other
one.
one.
Yep.
There
And
we go.
then it has disad on attacks.
Yes.
It's going to try to Vine Whip Scyther,
Try.
and it hits a 9.
No.
That doesn't hit.
No.
And then the fourth Ivysaur is going to. Did you roll for the punch for pound?
Yeah, I did. It was a 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Didn't go
So
well.
the
No pass
Ivysaur is
count.
going to turn to that Jigglypuff
Staring it down.
and is going to try to Vine Whip it. That's a 19.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh, Lord.
It's good.
Not good.
It's okay. Puff can take it.
Can
9 points of damage.
Oh no!
Can't take that, can he?
Puff is not looking good on that one.
What's your total HP?
Couldn't.
12
Jiggly
That's
Dahmer
your
right
total
behind bars.
HP as well?
for Jigglypuff. Yeah,
Okay, well, that was 2/3 of it.
Jigglypuff is rough.
Three-fourths. Definitely 3/4.
Yeah.
What?
We're gonna have to cancel the show, guys. That's embarrassing. Yeah. So that is all of the. Oh no, because you don't You don't get a turn. So back the.
I don't get a turn?
Well, you do, but
My guy wants to move.
the guy. Okay, go ahead. Move your guy.
He's going to run up
Should
to
have moved him
the
on your turn. Okay.
Who's
The
the
laying down Ivysaur
Yes.
isn't prone at all, but it can stand up.
back up.
And it's going to attack the Bulbasaur
Oh, no.
with a Vine Whip.
This isn't looking good.
It does not hit the Bulbasaur.
Good.
Let's get that boy and that Pichu in.
So it tries to smack the Bulbasaur, and the Bulbasaur smacks it out, and then uses that opportunity to lunge in for another tackle. And it's going to hit,
Come on, boy.
and it's going to deal
Bulba.
5 points of damage, and that that Ivysaur is out. So it knocks that Ivysaur out, and it's laying there unconscious. And the other Ivysaur turns to the Bulbasaur.
Oh, no.
The disabled one?
Oh yeah, it's disabled. Good
Yeah,
call.
it is.
So
Not
it
my
turns
spaghetti
and looks, but it's unable to do anything.
That's right.
And it is your turn.
Retribution. Alright, so the Scyther is going to kind of sidestep between the Bulbasaur and the Ivysaur,
Mhm.
sort of get in a somewhat flanking position,
Sure.
and go for a Fury attack.
Okay.
This is the disabled Bulbasaur. Ivysaur, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of used its leverage as it's hooked around to sort of like come at it from the side.
Mhm.
So that is a 20, not
Sure.
natural.
That hits.
It's okay, good, good. And we will be rolling 66.
Nice.
So I'm going to use, unlike Captain Planet here, I need to absorb the powers of my neighboring D4.
Is Scyther only a tier 2?
He's a tier 3.
So it'd be 7.
Is it 7? I thought it was
4, and then 1 for each of your tier levels.
I thought it was
Oh,
above
after one. You're
That's
right.
right, so
You're
it's
right.
6.
6. It's one for each after one. Yep.
1, 5, 8. I got one more. So it rolls 8, 9, 10, 11.
And it knocks the Ivysaur out.
Yeah, it does.
So that Ivysaur is knocked out as well.
Okay.
The other two Ivysaur look at your Pokemon in the situation and immediately turn to leave.
They're outie.
But it is still your turn.
That's fine. If they're turning
So-
to leave and I don't sense, I sense that they're
You
fleeing?
sense that it's over.
Okay.
That the fight is
I
over.
would certainly not keep
Okay,
fighting.
perfect. Then the Bulbasaur collapses on one of its legs, and it tries to stand itself back up.
Run it over with a potion.
Sure,
I'm gonna spray it.
spray that bad boy.
Mm.
So the Bulbasaur is healed and turns and looks at you, and you don't even like stop to think it could be anything other than thank you.
Yeah.
And the boy runs up to you and just gives you a big hug.
All right.
Daddy.
I'm gonna say,
Daddy.
no problem, son. I've saved your Charmander.
And he says, that's a Bulbasaur, and that's a Pikachu. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What were you doing out here in the dark, alone?
Well, my dad is the owner of the power plant, and he was working late, and I got bored, so I went out and was playing with my Pichu, and then I saw this Bulbasaur running from these 4 Ivysaur, and my Pichu's real strong, and I mean real strong. So I chased him because I knew that we could beat these Ivysaurs up, and no.
Well, I can tell you that you guys did a great job at losing.
Really? Oh, at
No,
losing.
no, but you did a great job.
Oh, you're not very smart, are you, mister?
But look at what I have, and I'm going to show him my Jigglypuff.
And Jigglypuff sticks its arm out, showing a gym badge.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, you have a gym badge. That's awesome.
That's right.
You're so cool.
Thanks. That's all I go for. And remember, kid, it doesn't matter how well you do in school, just be cool.
And
with that motion, I'm gonna reach out with a Pokeball, and I'm just gonna drop it on the Bulbasaur.
yeah,
Oh.
and the Bulbasaur right into that ball. Go ahead and give me some rolls, bro. Or I guess I roll for you because you don't have a D100. Do you want to roll your D100?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Go for it.
37.
Yeah.
Okay.
That hits.
You
Cool.
have encouraged
So the
them.
Bulbasaur, and the ball returns back to your hand, and you are now the proud owner of a Bulbasaur. Is that I don't know what that is.
Zach, why are you sad?
Hey, your friend just got a Bulbasaur.
Man, good for him.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, I know it's dope.
I was gonna write it down.
God.
All right, and that Bulbasaur, the ball returns back to your hand, and then immediately your cell phone rings.
I'm gonna give it a little kiss too. I'm gonna pick it up, Dad.
And it continues ringing as you have it open in your hand.
I'm gonna turn it on.
And you look at it,
Yeah.
and it says, "Please select a Pokeball to go to the PC."
Oh. Shit. Dad. I'm gonna send my Cubone for right now.
You're gonna send your Cubone,
I don't.
and you're gonna keep the Bulbasaur you know nothing about.
Yeah, I'll send the Bulbasaur.
Okay,
That's
you don't
pretty
have
good.
to.
No, that sounds pretty good.
Okay,
I feel bad about any of them. They're all my best friends.
absolutely,
But I do give it a little kiss first.
sure. And the Bulbasaur inside understands that you gave it a kiss,
Okay.
and
Good
the
God.
Pokeball just into the sky. It like digitizes and floats away.
All right.
So, back to Shasta.
Can I at least say that I'm taking the kid back?
Sure, yeah. So you
Towards
guys
the plant?
head back towards the
Okay.
plant. Yes, thank you.
That's a good spot.
Shasta.
Here I am with an empty pit in my stomach. Don't know why, but
Shouldn't have an pit.
yeah.
There's no
Okay.
pits around.
Yeah.
So I've opened this door and I see this hallway.
Mhm.
Correct. So I guess are there any doors at the end of the hallway or like on the sides?
No, it looks like the door that you're at is the only door. The hallway seems unnaturally wide, but you notice that the hallway leads to a corner, and then the corners turn off to where you can't see them. But it looks like it makes like a horseshoe, and you're at the center of it.
Okay. Well then I'll make my way around
One of those corners.
one of those corners.
Sure.
To just see if there's anything else I can find.
Sure.
Useful.
Go ahead and give me a D20 perception check.
All right. 18.
Perfect.
Well, yeah.
So you hear a very loud.
All right.
I peeked it so hard.
Dude, that was
I
nuts.
didn't mean to peek it that hard. And it sounds like it's coming from the direction that you are heading right now.
Then we are gonna head there.
Perfect. Elona, you also hear a loud roar, but it's more faint.
What does that sound like?
Do the papers I'm digging through look particularly interesting to me?
No. It actually looks like schematics and blueprints of different power grids, and you notice a map of Kanto on the wall with trails of with strings tied around them and thumbtacks in various points on the wall, and it says future power plant proposal or something like that.
Oh, okay. So they're planning to make a singular power plant that's going to power all of these cities?
Currently, there is just a singular power plant that powers all of Kanto.
Okay.
So it looks like he's wanting to divide the single power plant among 6 or 7 different power plants throughout the region.
Are there any recognizable names or mentions among these proposals, like J-Ball Jr., J-Ball Sr.?
No, it doesn't have any names on it. It has it has dollar signs, like polka dollar signs next to numbers.
Yeah.
So it's like the theoretical cost of a power plant in these 8 or 9 different cities.
And they're pretty outrageous numbers.
Oh yeah, they're in the billions.
Well, I'm going to take a mental note of everything that I see.
I'm gonna check my wallet.
Yeah,
Take a mental
you're
note.
not even in there.
in case this all has to come back in the future. And then I'm going to go out to the floor, or to the ledge, look down at the floor where Shasta is.
Yeah, and Shasta has disappeared through a door, but you walk out and see the room that she was in and the door closing.
Is there a staircase down to
I guess that doesn't
floor?
make sense for timing. Yeah, you don't see her at all because you already heard the roar.
Is there a staircase to the main floor?
No, but you did see when the man that you were speaking to in the room left. He went around and went into the doorway, and you saw a stairway at the edge of the.
All right, I'll follow suit. I'll do that then.
So you go down the hallway.
Yeah.
Perfect. So as you guys are moving through the hallways of the power plant, you don't really know your way around, so you're just kind of stumbling through hallway after hallway and looking in windows of doors.
Right.
You hear a bzzz, and you hear Cliff. Hello? Is this thing on?
Dad?
Dad?
Cliff! I found your kid and his Rhyhorn.
Oh my god, Cliff.
You're the worst Pokemon Ranger I've ever heard of. So,
Or the best.
Cliff, you are pulled by the hand of the kid and led inside underneath the thing, and you go back to the doors. And the kid goes and flips up 3, and then he goes and flips up 6. And then he opens the door to 6, and he walks inside. He's like, "Are you coming?"
Yeah. That was really cool.
Dude, they're just doors. And he walks in, and the door closes behind you guys. And it takes you to a large room with these giant spiraling machines that are all hooked up with wires to each other. And in the room, like your door opens and you're in this giant open room that looks like it's larger than the power plant itself. You don't know how it fit inside this building.
A Mary Poppins situation.
Exactly right. And as you walk out, you bump into a man walking across the doorway. And that is the same man, you don't know, but same man that Elona ran into. And the kid jumps at the man and grabs his leg and says, "Daddy!"
Sir, we have a situation outside. Found your son, rocked some ass, and I'm here to save the day. What can I do?
I don't know who you are, but we have a situation in here that we need to take care of now.
I'm on it. Let's go.
And he points at the kid and he says, "Aiden, stay."
Aiden is your name.
And then he continues on the path that he was walking.
Did your dad give you that name?
Did his dad give Aiden the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying that to the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it works, dude.
Man.
Don't you name your Pokemon? It's kind of the same thing.
I knew I had a dad. And I'm just gonna kind of dwell on that moment.
Okay.
Oh no.
And the kid has his Pichu with him, and he sets his Pichu on the floor in front of him, and he just sits there watching the Pichu, see what the Pichu does.
Yeah, I'm definitely engaged in what that Pichu's doing.
Perfect. So you sit and join him. Shasta, stumbling through these hallways, you open a door and are right there in that same large room, and you see your friend Cliff and a little boy and a Pichu, and they're all staring at the same piece of dirt on the ground. But the Pichu is really, really angry at the dirt. And then Cliff and Aiden are looking at the dirt and then looking at Pichu, what's he going to do? And then looking back at the dirt. And as you enter that room, you hear another door open, and it is Elona.
Oh, hey.
Stepping down from a large stairwell into the room. And you guys are all together again.
What was that crazy noise?
I have no idea. That's why I came this way.
Shh!
And I'm just focused and real intent on this Pichu.
And the Pichu finally gets up the courage and headbutts the floor. And it takes 3 points of damage.
No! This is probably what knocked him unconscious.
Best character in Smash.
This is the worst. Guys, this guy just came running past, and this is his kid, and this is his Pokemon Aiden.
I know, he's so rude. He tried to snuff me out.
Snuff you? The Pokemon?
No, the guy.
Oh, yeah, because I was with the kid.
Yeah.
This is his Pichu Aiden.
He's a terrible dad.
And you figured it all out.
And the kid's like, my name's Aiden, but I never told you my Pichu's name, but yeah, it's also Aiden.
Yes! I was able to figure
I don't know how
out.
you knew that.
I mean, it makes things easier.
It's a dad thing.
So you guys are all together, and Cliff points he went that way. And that is where we will end this week's episode of Table Knights, Tabletop Pokemon.
Yeah.
I have been Tyler Malter, your league champion and dungeon master. You can find me on Twitter at TJMalt421. You can find John Reed at
John Reed Art.
You can find Sean Murphy at
Chuck Bonsai one.
You can find Zach Birkes at
Birkes Works.
You can find us on our website, TableKnight.com. You can go to Facebook.com/TableKnight Productions, and you can go to our YouTube channel, Table Knight Productions. You can also find us on iTunes and Google Play Music. And we will catch you next week.
Pichu for Smash.